There's one last thing that we need to talk about, and that is what is referred to in the HD collection as credits and bonus audio. You would think that that's just, maybe a bonus music track or something. I wish it was. I wish it fucking was, because this bonus audio is so ridiculous that when we Googled it, the first thing that came up was, I wish I'd never listened to the bonus audio. I regret this intensely. It's basically telling you what happened after Final Fantasy X-2 through the eyes and ears of two new characters called Chuame
and
Kurgum. We've just looked up Chuame, and apparently he's Auron's daughter. The only explanation of which we can think of is that after the calm, Auron was so depressed that he went into a drunken stupor and had sex with a prostitute somewhere. Because let's think about Auron's character for a second. During his pilgrimage, he was incredibly devout. He was seriously religious. The only thing he cared about was this pilgrimage.
He refused the hand in marriage to go on the pilgrimage, didn't
he? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we know absolutely nothing about the mother.
No,
we know nothing about
there's no name for the mother or anything like that. So this audio thing, whatever it is, starts off terrible and just gets worse and worse as it goes on. And Tom brought up that that it possibly could have been leading to Final Fantasy X-3.
Please don't do that.
What do we think of that idea?
Please don't do that.
From what I've heard from this bonus audio, I really don't want them to go into it.
Yeah, it just totally makes no sense.
Sound like a good story at all.
Everything that is happening in this audio will, it's called, is it just totally destroys everything that happened in the first game, in the very original game.
Yeah.
Sin's there, you go on a pilgrimage, you destroy Sin, you give everyone the eternal calm. Fair enough, in 10-2 you go back, you get Tidus back, and you it's a happy ending, effectively. If you get the perfect ending, it's a happy ending for Tidus and Yuna. Now we're going to go back on it. What we're going to do is we're going to have new Yevon claps after Yevon claps. So you have Yevon claps, then you've got new Yevon claps. Now we've got these people called Yevoners who go around giving orders to people and carrying out little things. I don't know. And they go visit Yuna, and they overhear Yuna breaking up with Tidus because Sin's back, and it's like, what? Why do you need to do this?
So after a really hard fought game in FF10, really emotional story as well, we're just going to completely get rid of that all and bring Sin back anyway.
200 hours possibly of your life for them to say, nah, we're going to make this now for 30 minutes of an audiobook, which is terrible, and they're going to make 10-3. I think 10-3 won't happen. I really hope it won't.
I don't think it will happen, but we don't know whether they're all the original voice actors. I think most of them are different voice actors. Yeah. But either way, they didn't care, and it doesn't matter anyway, because the level of writing here is like Twilight levels of bad writing.
It's twist upon twist upon twist.
It's nonsensical.
One of the characters in it has been promoted to mayor.
Maya
Lulu.
It's now Maya Lulu.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many things like that we could mention.
There's 9 people who live in Besaid and they need a mayor.
Elected by the people, Lulu became mayor of Besaid.
People are referring to Tidus as Tidus constantly. Apparently, there's a shoe puff that won't be sent. Yuna's trying to send a shoe puff back to the
shoe puff desperately wants to stay in this world.
Is it a shoe puff or a hyper?
It's a shoe puff. So it said shoe puff.
Seriously?
Yeah, it said shoe puff.
It
said shoe puff loads.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Some animal.
Okay, so Yuna is trying to send a shoe puff back to the bar plane.
That's the impression that we got. I mean, so I've seen this, and we won't watch it again.
Sin is back, and it doesn't explain who has embodied sin, like obviously every other time sin has been reincarnated, it's a specific person
Yeah.
that has become sin because they've become the final Aeon, and therefore Yu Yevon has been able to
latch onto it.
Yu Yevon, the most powerful summoner in history, might I add. Who else is going to be able to summon sin back at
Probably
this point?
only Yuna.
Yuna, exactly. Why would she? Why would she summon sin back? Tidus is having an affair with Sheriel, or what was it?
Was it Marfine? I think it was Marfine.
Marfine.
Marfine, yeah.
Well,
another shit name.
That he's got that he's got a lady friend or something like that, and Yuna
and then Yuna just goes, "Well, it's all right because I'm in love with someone else." And it's just like,
and the two characters who were eavesdropping in, one of them just turns around and says, "Yeah, that's me. I'm in love with you."
And Tidus goes back to Lulu and
Nothing.
just doesn't care. He's just like, do you know what it is then? And it's just, there's no emotion, there's nothing.
The voice actors, like, if it was the original voice actors, then they did the worst job they've ever done in their lives. And the new voice actors that they got in are just terrible anyway.
Yeah, I think it was the original Tidus and Yuna, but not Lulu and Waka. I think they're different.
And they're just saying things wrong. Like, what else did they say that was wrong?
The Albed Psyches.
They said
Psyches.
Albed Psyches. And it's like, have you not played Final Fantasy X, you fucking idiot? If you're going to do voice acting for a Final Fantasy game, you play the other games.
Wait, which character was it who said Psyches?
Bergam or Chwame.
The new character,
one of the new ones.
Bergram.
Yeah, because Lulu
I'm getting it wrong.
Kugram.
Lulu refers to them as Sykes from the first game.
Yeah.
She says that word.
So
I was thinking
does Bobber and what's his name? Bobber and
It's said
the
loads of
guy
times
in
the
the-
Albed
in the-
Sykes.
yeah.
They're just the Albed Sykes. Everyone
they don't
knows
understand
that.
their own law
Bobber and Jimmer,
of the
the
game.
commentators.
Did Square Enix seriously just get random people to write this epilogue of the whole Final Fantasy sort of story? Final
It
Fantasy
seems
X
that way,
story.
doesn't it? Because they think they can just bring Sin back with that, out of nowhere.
To
And it's just
me, this just embodies Square Enix as a
Yeah.
kind of a whole nowadays. Like, what they've done is they've taken all of this lovely concept art and all these people's names who worked on 10 and 10-2 to some degree, and put their names on a nice little slideshow showing how awesome that work is, and then these new people coming in who have
Just
nothing to
fucking
do with
ruin
it
it all.
and just put a horrible little audio drama over the top of it and be like, what we're going to do now is lead this up to something that has nothing to do with it and just ruin everything.
I think you couldn't have put it better, to be honest, because one of the reasons I wanted to do this video was to discuss a bit more about how Square Enix operates, and it's like Nobuo Uematsu, who's a personal sort of influence on me and my music, said that Square Enix have kind of stolen his music and they just use it for their own purposes all the time. In all the Final Fantasy games, they're just using his music and his compositions, just willy-nilly, basically. Square Enix is definitely not what it was, and it's lost all touch of what made it good in the first place. And like you say, they use this artwork and everything and say, showcase it and say, ooh, look how great we are. It's our series is so iconic.
It's to kind of keep you attached on an emotional level, but then it kind of reminds me of the way that Konami acted with Kojima. They kind of are treating their employees very much the same way as Konami are. I mean, if they're going to do that to Uematsu, they're going to probably do it to Nomura at some point as well. I mean,
possibly, yeah. I mean, the best thing that would ever happen is that Tetsuya Nomura leaves and forms his own studio.
Yeah,
that would be fucking amazing.
With Kitase as well.
Yeah, just
yeah.
All the greats that know what they're doing, and
I think that, as you say, like the companies are now becoming like more corporate and sort of money oriented.
It's all about profits, and it's all about making things look cool.
Like, they don't care about the story of the game, you know, as long as it makes money.
They did this as a fan service, but they're so out of touch with what the fans actually want that they put this piece of shit together. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, to be fair though, to a lot of to be fair to Square in that respect, a lot of Square fans are so out of touch with themselves. That on
Like,
any Square Enix Facebook comments thread, they'll be begging for a Final Fantasy VII remake.
Do Final Fantasy VII remake.
Which does not need to be done. And it is being done, which is going to be shocking. I mean, it looks amazing, but why? I love the polygonal mess that it was on the PS1 with the sprites and the flickering.
Massive square
and the
hands.
square hands.
It looks like the scene from Beetlejuice when he when he hammers down that thing.
That's perfect. They'll be making Chrono Trigger next in Super HD.
Oh god.
It's too much. Stop doing this.
There's no way.
If it did happen though, I mean, based on the way that the games industry is going, they're just throwing out sequel after sequel after sequel because people will buy it.
Konami, they're going to make another Metal Gear Solid.
They're going to make it, and it might not be
Hideo Kojima. It's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be terrible.
So,
oh god.
I mean, part of me,
anything else that they'd make without the original.
Part of me just wouldn't want to play 10-3 at all. But part of me would feel like I have to play it.
I think
because just to see what it would be like.
Well, I didn't play 13-3, so
I didn't play it,
because it's going to be fucking shit, innit? Oh, speaking of Final Fantasy 13, first print edition bonus includes Yuna's Final Fantasy X Spira's Summoner garb for use in Final Fantasy 13-3 Lightning Returns again.
Lightning Returns. Maybe Lightning has summoned Sin.
Well,
with Yuna's garb.
What she did is she stole Yuna's dress sphere, which allowed her to wear the summoner's robes, and she summoned Sin
from a different dimension.
As we know, Lightning is the best Final Fantasy character ever created, and she's also the most powerful and the most beautiful.
The original games are good and should stay as they are. They should leave it alone. I think.
Should leave sequels alone.
Yeah, don't do a sequel to Final Fantasy X-2.
Square fans, stop asking for it, please, because it's not good. It's not a good way to go, honestly. Shocking.